Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, vCISO series. The reason why I created this one, because I really want to emphasize on the Cybersecurity Incident Response Team. We had just some back or previous presentations specifically made for incident response and the way that we just react or perform actions against all the incidents. And it's all about readiness. So this one is part of the Security Incident Response, which is CIRP or IRP. In some cases, people say just incident response, and then or incident response plan. And CSIRT is the team dedicated to perform all the actions, and it's all about readiness. So we have to make sure we are ready for all the events and all the consequences in each event. There is a team dedicated and is just practicing and doing all the incidents, and we make sure we can just make it or resolve it or just close it in a timely fashion. I'm taking you to the agenda today. So the CSIRT itself, what is that about? And then the objectives and benefits of having the CSIRT or cybersecurity incident response team, the roles and responsibility, the tools, techniques, testing and training, which is an important part of the business because we have to make sure that they're always ready and just against all the actions that are to be performed. And they can easily and rapidly just get into the incidents and try to resolve and take whatever action that is required. Real world scenarios, some of the real world scenarios, very simple, simplified version, and then finally conclusion. So what is CSIRT? So why do we need a CSIRT? The CSIRT is Cybersecurity Incident Response Team, as per definition, based on, let's say, references, could be NIST, could be CISSP, ISC squared, is a dedicated group that handles cybersecurity incidents to minimize damage and restore operations. So the goal is to get back to the normal state. And all these actions or all these preparation, I would say, that we're doing for incidents is to just give us enough time or enough performance and enough, I would say, capabilities to interface all the incidents. So the key points that we're going to be taking away from this program or this, I would say, slide is specialized um, for the CSIRT is the one, or the team is the one that is specialized in handling cybersecurity incidents and act as a first line of defense in cybersecurity incidents. This is just like a generated AI image that I just produced, and it's just not really a perfect one, but it shows that the CSIRT itself, it has to connect to multiple engines or multiple activities for the entire incident response lifecycle. So the threat detection engines there should be multiple, or it's better to be multiple engines that they advise you or they just give you notifications or inform you about any potential incidents that are happening in the environment. Example of which would be the EDR, the SIM, specifically SOAR engines that we spoke about, the incident response plan. And there could be forensic containment, recovery, forensic analysis, the teams that are dedicated to this one. CSIRT also involves, internal, external legals, law enforcement. There could be some investigations, discoveries that might be happening. So this team is the center of all, or is just kind of pivoting around all the activities and all the groups that are to be associated with the incident response itself. So the CERT objectives, the team is very simple, right? It's just a team. But the team should have roles and responsibilities defined, and they should know their objective is to just detect, analyze, and respond to security incidents, minimize downtime, strengthen organizational cybersecurity posture. So one of the most important, I don't want to say one of the most important, one of the topics or important topics in any of the compliance like SOC 2 Type 2 or ISO or any of those compliance NIST is to have the incident response in place. So if you don't have an incident response in place, it's one of the items that you would lack, and you may just have to prepare for or just produce one and create one in order to obtain those type of compliance certificates. So NIST doesn't have certificate though, but the other ones, the ISO and SOC, of course they do. So the benefit of having the CSIRT is just centralized response to threats, improve compliance, and enhance organizational resilience. That means we are ready. The defense team is always there. If there is an attack, we can stand against it, right? We are ready. We just prepared. We practiced it, and we can execute actions against it. The important roles that it has to be there in the CSIRT is the incident handler commander. So the incident handler commander is the one that does the investigations in order to mitigate incidents. This person is the one that either in smaller organization who may have authority to take actions against services. That means, let's say there is an account compromise, disable that account, or there is a service that it has to be taken offline. That person has the authority to execute and say, okay, to the technical people that are actually the SMEs or experts, subject matter experts, to, okay, take that service down or disable or turn it off. And this is what we do, right? The threat analyst, of course, the person or the SMEs who do the analysis and report to the incident commander about the magnitude of the incident and the areas affected and the impact of it, are the threat analysts. There is a forensic specialist as well. That is an important role. So gathers and analyzes evidences for investigation. So if there is an investigation, depending on the severity and priority of an incident, if it's of a high priority and severity incident, you may need to just do further investigations, right? There might be an attack. There might be like a bad actor. There might be an adversary that taken some action from a laptop. That laptop is just, it could be CEO of the company, right? It has to be investigated. That means this team needs to just collect all the facts and just see and analyze what has happened. Maybe that laptop was stolen. Maybe that person did something wrong, right? So maybe an awareness need to be released for all those type of activities. Maybe that person has the authority to install like a malware he or she did, and that affected all the systems or many of the systems or whatever is affected, right? And then there is an important role which is communication lead or scribe. The scribe is the one who takes notes and prepares the minutes and communicates with all the stakeholders. So all the communication is going to be handled by the scribe. You don't need to just have one person dedicated for each of these roles. One incident commander and a scribe could be one person, right? And the threat analyst and forensic analyst, it better not be the same person. And it is always advised to have like an incident response platform separate from the incident management platform. That means the platform on which the people who are just the technicals are working, that the IT technical people are working to rectify the incidents and take actions against the incident, should be separate from the forensics or the incident response investigations, because we may just do some investigations against important people in the company. We don't want these technical people or those type of people be involved. Make sure the people who are assigned to these ones they have a good clearance, and that ring of people has got enough security inside that they don't let the information lead to the entire company. Anyways, the CSIRT responsibility, they just do, I explained, you can just go to my incident response plan for the entire incident lifecycle, from the triaging, categorization, classification, severity, and then communication to the internal and external parties, and then documentation and reporting. This is what CSIRT does. So in many cases, maybe lower priority incidents, they may not need like P4 or P3 in some cases. They may not need reporting, right? But the report in most cases from the 3 and upwards, they need reporting, or executive report needs to be generated. So that's an important thing, takeaway or note for this presentation. Steps in incident response. I don't want to just take you to this one. You can just go to my incident response plan. So from prep to the detection, analysis, eradication, recovery, and post-incident activity. There are 4 phases based on NIST. I explained this one in my previous slides. You can just go to those slides and just take a look. Even tools and technologies remains the same for incident response. So the people, the key tools, IDS, IPS, EDR, these are mainly the tools that they collect the logs from different engines, from different elements in the network or systems, applications, and they do analysis. They're equipped with the AIs that they would say, okay, SOAR is one engine and SIM somehow. And sometimes they can take actions as well. In rare cases, SIM and SOAR might be set to take actions, but in most cases it's not. It's just the information engine that it gives us information for what needs to be done. So they say, okay, if this is coming from this router to this router, and let's say that is, I'm just giving an example. If the ICMP is coming inside the network and it's a frequent message, more than 10 messages with this threshold, the interval between the messages is less than, let's say, 1 second, that is considered as an attack. Or if an admin is doing lateral movement from one place to another, it might be an account compromise. Anyways, there's just SOAR engines that they would just analyze and advise you about upcoming events, or that they become incidents later down the road. So testing and training is all about prep, is all about readiness. So we have to make sure that the incidents are properly identified and they're properly classified, and they are the actions that need to be taken against those in terms of containment and further actions for mitigation, remediation, and lessons learned are properly understood, tested, and practiced by this team. I would encourage to have twice exercises or tabletop exercises at least. Get people on the call, this team, get them ready, right? And it's just like drills, right? You may have yearly plan for drills or fire drills. That means you have like a pilot, or you maybe have like some sort of an isolated dedicated portion in the prod that is there for the incident response and disaster recovery purposes, that you can just jump on a meeting with all these people and just try to just rectify the issue and see how you can do, let's say, switch to the DR side or contain the incidents or do whatever action that is required. It's all about readiness, communication. These people are ready to jump on a call, find one another. There is a call tree that they can do, find one another, and jump on a call to do whatever action that is required to be taken. We have to do continuous improvement. That means you got to review the plan or incident response plan with this team. You got to update. You have to just take the feedbacks. You have to just measure the performance with these indexes like MTDD or MTTR to make sure we're just getting better over time, because all the purpose behind this incident response and CSIRT, the team, and whoever is involved is to just get better on a daily basis and demonstrate effectiveness. That means with all these metrics, you can say, okay, last year it took like half an hour to get all the team on a call, but this year we just reduced to 15 minutes. That means people are more available and ready. They have a better perception and background about the calls that they're receiving. So this is the most important part, that to just get ready. Examples: ransomware is all over the places and it's increasing. All of a sudden, the portion of a network or the files get encrypted. What do we do? What are the actions? How do we prepare? Preparedness means having something that could be away from getting infected. Offline backups. Unmutable. Some specialized equipments are there that they don't allow or protect against those ransomware. So we have to make sure those are in place. I've been in scenarios that all the network and backups got encrypted and the whole company's database data was encrypted and useless. So they had to start from scratch. That's no good. So be ready. Account compromise. Compromised credentials is another thing. So people may, let's say the worst case scenario is admin, right? You see an admin you don't recognize. You see a person that is into the system and is doing some actions or negative actions that is not supposed to be performing. And that account that you just identified, this is somebody's account that you forgot that the person left the company. You might have forgotten to just disable the account, or could be a password stolen from someone over social engineering, and another person just is using that admin person account to get into the system. That easy, and mess up with the firewall. Think of it for just 1 second. If one person could, with a compromised credential, get into someone's systems, which is an important system, take that system down or make some changes, what a disaster would be, right? Key takeaways: review, update, measure, rinse, and repeat. That's the basic and what is important. Thank you for being in this slide, in this show or presentation, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.